I want to remind you in your life, there are two, well, actually there are several different areas, but the main areas that the enemy will try to drive a wedge between you. The enemy will try to drive a wedge between you and your spouse. He'll try to get you mad, upset at each other. He'll try to get you on opposing sides, butting heads with one another, and he'll try to destroy that relationship. Has anybody ever experienced that? Don't raise your hand. You know what I'm talking about. It happens to everybody. I believe the next relationship that's attacked is between you and your pastor. That's the next thing where the enemy will try to drive a wedge in between. And he'll try to cause offense to happen. Because if you're cut off from that relationship, if you're cut off from that relationship with a pastor, then that makes you fair game for the enemy, and it's not a good place to be. So what happens is you have electricity that works, and there's electricity running in that wall right there to that plug. And if you took an appliance of some kind, or anything that operates on electricity, and you plugged it into that, this thing would work fine. Now the electricity doesn't change. It's the same. It's the same voltage. It's the same pretty much all the time. But if you unplug that thing, then what happens is this appliance doesn't work. So it's easy to say, well, doggone, we must have some really bad electricity. It would be foolish to blame the electricity, wouldn't it? But that's what happens. Offense causes people to act that way, and they start blaming other things. So what happens is this, is if all of a sudden you don't get something out of this, what has happened is somebody has unplugged. Because it's the same word. It's the same word that set you free when you started going to church here. It's the same word that delivered you. It's the same word that got you the job that you got. It's the same word that healed you. It's the same word that put your marriage back together. It's the same word. It hasn't changed.